in the whores, demons trying to trap you with semen, their eyes gleaming. You better spit it out like Willie Beeman. This is spiritual war. Yeah, I'm ducking all the witches in the whores, demons trying to trap you with semen, their eyes gleaming. You better spit it out like Willie Beeman. Came back with vengeance. Yeah, you can hear the sound from my engine. Back to the business. I've been trying to eat healthy and I'm working on my fitness. Eased up with the tension, fulfilling my vision. God is my peace, blessings. Coming back with another video. I hope everything is good with y'all out there. I hope y'all liked the last video I did. Today I want to touch on a topic that most of us know about, but it's kind of a I guess you could say it's kind of a people look at it in a bad way when we talk about the specific word. And the specific word I'm talking about is fear. So I just want to give a different perspective of the word fear and how we look at it. So of course I got my notebook. I hope y'all like it, right? It's a nice design, Got like a lot of blank pages. It's nice, very artistic. But anyway, we're gonna get straight into it. So the title for the video is gonna be "Sometimes Fear Can Save Your Life. If you use it to your advantage, it can help you thrive. Let me explain. Sometimes fear could save your life. If you use it to your advantage, you can thrive. It can help you thrive, excuse me. Let me explain. So we're going to get right into it. What is fear? By dictionary meaning, an unpleasant emotion caused by belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain, or a threat. So we all heard the term fight or flight. And that is talking about towards fear. Well, about fear, rather. And you can either do those two things when you feel that emotion of fear in any situation. It can be a fight, if there's a one-on-one fight, you might choose to fight. But if it's like 30 people trying to kill you or trying to attack you, you might use the flight. And there's nothing wrong with that because you're not going to beat a mob of people by yourself. So if they coming at you 30, 40 people, it's best for you to catch flight and get out of there. So there's nothing soft about that. It could be performing in front of a crowd or a stage. You might get fearful of that. So that could cause a fight or flight. That could cause you to bring those two things out, whether you're going to fight or flight, whether you're going to fight the emotions of the fear or you're going to flight and not come out on that stage at all, or either you just freeze up and just don't do what you're supposed to do out there. It could be putting yourself out there for anything, whether it's a job, an opportunity, something you want, something you dreamed about, something you're passionate about. There's a fight or flight mentality with that when it comes to fear. And it can even be something that we all go through a lot, the judgment of others, especially in the technology era with social media. A lot of us have a fear of putting ourselves out there. So that can make you flight from that. Or you can fight it back and fight against that judgment and say, I don't give a F what anybody thinks. I'm going to put myself out there. And the people that like me are going to attract to me. And the people that don't, they aren't for me. Because everybody's not going to like us. And that's okay. Because everybody's not supposed to like us. Everybody's going to resonate with different people. So, and it might not even be that in some cases they don't like you. They just don't understand you. They might understand you later. Maybe they're not open-minded yet. Maybe they're not on your level yet to understand you. And sometimes people have to come up to the level we're on, sometimes if we're on a higher vibration, to understand us. So there's many different ways you can look at it. So that's fear. So let's get to the next thing, which is channeling the energy of fear. Nervous energy. I chose that because nervous energy and fear, they're very similar when you really think about it, because of that feeling it makes you feel. Like I said, it could be you performing, you putting yourself out there. It could be in a very threatening situation where somebody's trying to cause harm to you, or maybe others around you that are with you. And you feel this energy. And even the greats, the people that reach that level of success, that are on that big platforms, they feel that feeling as well. But we don't realize is that energy is adrenaline rushing, and it can make us feel anxious, because the nervous energy and the fear energy is only making you feel that adrenaline because your blood is rushing, because you know what you're there to do. So you know why you're there on the stage to perform. That's why you feel that fear of either you're not going to do good or you feel that nervous feeling of like, yo, what if this goes wrong? Because you know what people are there to see and what they expect of you. Sometimes we get like that with ourselves because we have expectations within ourselves to do good. So you have to learn how to channel that fear and learn how to channel that nervous energy. Because if you don't, that's when that anxious stuff comes up, and then some people have anxiety attacks. Some people end up making themselves look, embarrassing themselves. Some people end up falling out because they can't breathe because they're so catching the anxiety attack. So you have to learn how to channel that fear energy and use it to your advantage. So that's what I mean by thriving in it. When you do feel it in certain situations, you have to learn how to channel it when you do feel it coming on because it's normal. Um, People always say that they don't fear anything. You always hear people say that I don't got no fear in this world, nothing. Let's be honest, we all have a fear of something. You might have a fear of spiders, insects, anything. Fear of water, fear of heights. So it's not always that simple. It sounds good. It sounds very cliche for everybody to say because it sounds good when you say it. I don't have no fear, nothing, anybody, anything. You got to fear something. And like I said, whether it's heights, fear of swimming, water, drowning, insects, anything. It could be anything. Fear of failing. It could be anything. You have a fear of something, and that's okay because we look at it in this society as if like you having a fear of something is weak. Especially when they look at men. It could be women too, but especially men, we definitely try to consider that as manhood, masculinity, this alpha male stuff. Everybody has a fear of something, and that's okay, dog. It's just the fact of you learning how to channel that energy and learn how to use it to your advantage so you know how to thrive in it. So that's the whole point of it. Because it's a normal emotion. You're gonna fear something. Even if it's not a people, not even if it's not a person or a thing, it could be simple as something you fearing that you fail. It could be failing a test, failing this obstacle that you want to get over. Anything, addictions, anything. So that's okay. Next thing when it comes to that, um, we have we have to learn how to face that fear. So that's back to learning how to thrive in it. We have to learn how to really face those things that we are afraid of. It could some people it might be a bully, some people it might be an obstacle, some people it might be a fear of falling back into addictions, fear of failing and not reaching success, reaching the goal that we have, fear of not having a successful relationship. It could be many different things. So we have to learn how to look at ourselves in the mirror and face those tough, that tough feeling and those tough questions of asking ourselves, why do I fear this? Why do I feel that I won't reach that? Why do I feel like I won't get there? Why do I feel like me and this person won't make it together? You have to face those things and have those tough talks with yourself. That's a lot of things we don't do. We don't have those tough talks with ourselves. We only want to have the good, simple, easy talks that make us feel good, but we don't want to have those nasty talks that don't feel the best, that's not easy to swallow, that can make us humble ourselves. And that's okay because sometimes life will humble you in many different ways. And that's fine. I know everybody always say, yo, F that, don't be humble, boast and all that. Sometimes you're going to get humble. And that's fine because it's grounding you. Humble doesn't mean you're just always quieting yourself and just staying in the corner. Maybe for some people, but humble is also you staying grounded by keeping your head on a level ground, not letting it go too crazy in the air where you not paying attention and you just moving recklessly. And then when something bad happened, you like, oh man, I was just moving like a crazy person. I wasn't moving strategically. That's the worst. Wasn't moving with strategy. So we have to learn how to face these things so we know what to do. Some people, when they feel that nervous energy or that fear energy, they might have to learn how to practice breathing exercises to calm themselves down because breathing helps the body calm down. Especially when your adrenaline is rushing, you need to calm yourself down. You need to calm your heart rate down. Some people, maybe they have to use what is it called? The stress ball. Some people might have to carry those around, and when that fear comes on, that they might have to go in their pocket and use that. Some people might have to squeeze a tennis ball, rather a handball, because tennis ball is kind of hard to squeeze. A handball, the little blue ball that's used for handball. I hope y'all know what that is. The game when you slap the ball against the wall and you play, you get it. But It's different things like that, breathing exercises, stuff like that. Some people they might have to write when they feel that energy coming on. So it's different thing. They might have to listen to music. You have to figure that out and see what's your best method of calming yourself down when you feel those emotions of that fear coming on or that nervous energy. You have to learn how to channel it. So that's the other thing. So we're gonna move on. No matter what level you're on, you're always gonna face a fear. Excuse me, no matter what level you're on, the fear will never go away. So like I said, there's the greats that have had years of success, years of being on platforms, years of being out there, years of making many accomplishments, and money, financially, um, all type of things. They've been around the world, but they will always tell you that that fear will never go away, and it could be a fear of just them not being on top no more. Them feeling like they'll fall to the bottom and never reach that certain level of success that they reached before. Not topping themselves of where they feel they should be. Um, Not doing good enough for me expectations because that's what a lot of people fears come into when we put expectations on things. And that's why they say it's not good to put expectations on things. It's good to always go into things with a great clear mindset and just be like, hey, whatever happens, it happens. As long as I put my best foot forward and I give it 100%, sometimes even 110%. So those things will never go away. We always think that, oh yeah, when I get this money, everything's gonna be fine. When I get to this level of success, everything's gonna be fine. When I get this certain relationship with this guy, this girl, everything's gonna be fine. When you get it, it's gonna be another level of fear because now that you got it, how do you maintain it? Especially if it's something that's good and it benefits your life or a person, a thing, whatever it is, that fear is always going to be there because it's never going to go away. We always think that, like, oh yeah, when I get this, everything's going to be fine. Everything's just going to get amplified more because now you're at another level that went up. So now the level of that stuff is going to amplify it. So it's never going to go away. So we always have to work on how to channel. Once again, back to that, we have to learn how to channel that energy and different methods and exercises that help us. Some people might be boxing to calm themselves down. They did when they got something big coming up. They need to calm themselves down. Some people they talk to themselves. Some people they pray. Some people meditate. It's different things. You have to figure out what works for you because no matter what level you get to, that fear is never gonna go away. So and that's fine as long as you learn how to channel it and use it to your advantage so you can thrive off it. So we're gonna move to the next one. I'm gonna give you a few examples of the fear. So the first one, I'm gonna give you about a cat. Now, when a cat feels threatened, what does it do? It backs itself in the corner. It starts hissing at you like. It starts raising its tail up and its skin start making that sound. It's doing that to throw you off because it's in fear. But like I said with the fight or flight, it's using it to its advantage because it's making you stay away. It's keeping you at bay, like stay away. Even though it's frightened, they're using the fear to their advantage to keeping you away. Because everybody knows when that cat is in fear and he attacks you because he's in fear, oh, he's going to rip you to shreds. Do not let them claws get you. And you're not going to be able to get that cat off once it start going crazy. So that's an example of using the fear to their advantage to keep you away and protect themselves. Another example, a skunk. If a skunk feels threatened, he raising that tail up and he's spraying you. And nobody want to get sprayed with that, so that keeps us scared. But because it's in fear and it feels that something is a threat that's approaching him, he's going to spray you just to give it time enough to run away. But yet, it's fearful, yes, but it's using that fear and what is to its advantage to keep you away so it can escape and be safe. Another one, a praying mantis. A praying mantis is small, so it has a lot of other insects and creatures that's trying to eat it. But what does it do? It gets into that martial arts stance and makes itself appear bigger to the enemy so the enemy becomes afraid and throws it off and doesn't know how to attack it. But again, it's not to cause harm. If it has to, it is, but it's to throw you off so they can escape away. So again, they're using the fear of that big creature, come and attacking them, and then making themselves appear bigger by getting in that stance and making that creature think twice of attacking it so it can get away to safety. Another one, Mike Tyson. He talked about this one time in a fight, how he had a fear of losing a fight one time against this guy. He said, I had dreams of losing this fight. I fear that he's better than me. I fear that he will bite him, that he will beat me, and knocked me out. I had fear of that. I seen him in my dreams. Like I had fears that he was better than me. This is Mike Tyson, a beast, and he's talking about that. So again, I'm showing you everybody has that level of fear, no matter what it is, no matter what level they are, no matter how much of a beast they are. It's a normal emotion. You just have to know how to thrive over it. But when he got in the ring that time with the guy, he's looking at him and he's thinking about how fearful he is of losing that fight. And he's there now. When you're there in the moment, you have to use that energy to thrive off it because it's not time to fail and get scared now. You have to say, I'm here now and I have to do what I have to do. And he's looking him in his eyes. And he said, the moment they staring at him, the guy staring at him, he said, the moment he looked away from Mike Tyson's eyes for 1 second, he said he knew he had him. He knew he wanted to fight. That's because he's thriving off the fear of, I'm so fearful that I might lose against this guy in front of all these people and everybody know Mike Tyson. I have to thrive off this and make him fearful and win. And because he did that and looked into his eyes like that, and the guy looked away, he knew he had him. And that's again like the tactic of the animals to keep you at bay. And Mike Tyson beat his behind that time. So again, you have to use it to your advantage. The other one I got. If someone tries to cause harm to you, now of course we a lot of people don't like to fight, but if somebody's causing harm to you and you feel that fear energy coming on, it's gonna make you get into that fight mode like a cat or any other animal because you're trying to protect yourself and you want to make it home safe. Especially if somebody is with you and it's a loved one or your child or your mother, your anybody, your friend, you're definitely going into another mode. Especially if you're trying to walk away and a person just keep on trying to come toward you, attack you, and you got somebody with you, you're going to go into another mode of fighting. Especially even if you fear that fear of something happening to you, let alone them, it's going to make you turn into a whole different person. And you'll be surprised what you want to do to somebody. That's the really be the fear of like, I'm scared of what I might do to you. So a lot of times that's why you feel the fear of that when somebody's trying to come to cause harm to you because you're fearful of what you might do to make sure you get home safe and to make sure your people get home safe. So that's another example. For me myself, my one of my fears is big bodies of water. Like yo, being on boats and all that big big bodies of waters in the ocean and stuff. That I gotta fear that. I just be thinking sometimes, yo, what if this happened? What if that? What if we get stranded? What if I gotta swim away? Like I'm gonna get to shore. That's a long swim and it's freezing water. I remember one time years ago I went jet skiing with my family in Orlando, Florida, and we were jet skiing. And like I said, I'm not a biggest fan of big water. But for some reason, when we got on those jet skis and I was on that water, and I said, this is a once in a lifetime type of thing. I'm from New York City, so doing stuff like that is like rare out here. You gotta be nice outside because it's cold out here in the winter. So when I got on there, I just say, you know what, I'm here now. I'm on this, and I just gotta relax and just have fun. And when I tell you, I was the main one out of everybody. I was going so far out there, speeding on that thing. Like when our time was up, the people that worked there had to come out there and get me because I didn't realize we went over the time of like 45 minutes. I was having so much fun, just ran, just on there. But again, I was thriving in the moment. I used that fear to my advantage. I talked to myself. I said, yo, just have fun. Just relax. Don't think nothing bad's going to happen. I had the time of my life. And I don't like big bodies of water like that. And I had the time of my life. So that's again, you got to use the fear to your advantage and thrive off it. And learn how to just let loose and know why you feeling that emotion. Even when I performed on stages plenty of times, I had a fear of failing. I had a fear of forgetting the lyrics. I had a fear of just crowd not liking the music. And when I got there, I had to tell myself before I go on, like, yo, calm down, relax, breathe, pray, relax. Use that fear and thrive. So by the time they call my name, yo, Cook Black coming to the stage, I'm confident. I'm using that fear. I'm looking at the crowd like, yo, forget that. What I got to lose? Just throw it all out there. And before I know it, I remember all the songs, all my lyrics. Took my time. Once I get through the first song, it's party time. Once I get the crowd react, it's party time. Because I used the fear and thrive. So I put the fight mode. I fought against it. And I didn't fight. I didn't use the fight. I didn't run away. I didn't freeze. I didn't be like, oh, I forgot my lyrics. Because if I didn't calm myself down, I would have forgot my lyrics. I would have performed bad. I would have been having anxiety. I would have did bad. So that was another time I thrived off the fear. And the last example I'm going to give you is this movie. If anybody out there seen Karate Kid with Jaden Smith, there was a scene at the end. I'm sorry if anybody didn't see it. But it's a scene at the end where he was about to make it to the championship round, and the other team did some grimy stuff and told the coach told the other kid on his team to mess his leg up so he wouldn't be able to compete. So he's in the back with Jackie Chan and he's hurt and it's looking like he can't fight in the championship round. So he's asking Jackie Chan, "Yo, do you think I could have won?" So Jackie Chan's like, "Yeah, I think you had a good chance to win." So he's like, "So why don't you do the cupping method on me to help me heal and help me go back out there so I can fight?" So he's like, "Yo, shout Dre." That's Jaden Smith name of the movie. He's like, "Yo, why do you feel like you need to go back out there?" He's like, "Why?" He said, "Well, you don't have nothing to prove." He's like, "You told me that when life knocks you down, you can either get up or stay down. So why won't you help me get back up? I'm asking for your help." So he said, Jackie Chan said, "Because I don't want to see you get hurt no more." And he said to Jackie Chan, he's like, "No matter what happened," he was like, "Yo, I want to go back out there. Why don't you help me?" So Jackie Chan said, "Why do you feel like you have to keep on fighting?" And Jaden Smith said, "Because I'm still scared." Because he was going to fight against the guy that was the little boy that was bullying him since the beginning of the movie. He said, "I'm still scared. No matter what happens when I leave here, I don't want to be scared no more." And that joint is so deep because it applies to life. Because even though he was beating everybody up and all that and got to the championship round, nobody expected him to make it there. He still had a fear of fighting that guy that was bullying him. And for him to face that fear to thrive, he said, "I need to go back out there and beat him. Because if I don't, I'm still going to be scared." And that's the point I'm making with this. You have to face your fears. You have to learn how to thrive off it and learn how to do different methods to help you thrive off that energy and channel it to thrive off it so you can overcome the obstacle. So I ain't gonna make this a long video. That's all I wanted to really touch bases. And like I said, sometimes we look at fear as a bad thing, but sometimes you have to channel it in many different situations and use it to your advantage, because it will help you thrive and get over those obstacles, over that hump, and help you get to those levels that you're trying to reach when you learn how to channel it. So, peace, blessings, much respect always. I hope everything is good with y'all out there. Keep doing your thing. And like I always say, whether we sprint, jog, run, or crawl, we gotta get to our destination somehow. So peace, blessings, much respect to y'all, and to the next topic. Peace.
Break it down. Break it down, roll it, light it, spark it, ignite it, but don't fight it. Break it down, roll it, light it, spark it, ignite it, but don't fight it. Now I lay low on weekends, diving off the deep end. I don't have no friends, I can't lie or pretend. Late nights I'm wishing, feel